Charlotte Tilbury is upsetting the entire beauty community. Hourglass has had a leak, which doesn't tell us much because they're just releasing what they've always been releasing. It's like 15 years in a row now. Pokémon is doing a second collab with Colourpop, which is surprising, maybe not so surprising, and indie brands are releasing palettes out of the wazoo. Be prepared, buckle in, there is so many things coming. Welcome to this week's new makeup releases. We chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced, and sneak peek. I talk about the new makeup that's coming out, some beauty news, what is happening in the beauty community, and you let me know what you think in the comments down below. Usually I do this bi-weekly right now. Let me know if you think that this is okay, because again, it's been 6 months now of me not doing YouTube as a full-time job. This is no longer my career. It is something I do for a hobby, which I have been thoroughly enjoying, and I have been doing now past 3 weeks, three bi-weekly. This is not grammar. The past 3 new makeup releases, I would say, it's come out bi-weekly. Do you think this is an okay, like, is this something I can do? Because I still want to be here and talk about the beauty news, but I also don't want to hook myself up to a schedule that's taking time away from other things that I need to be doing. Listen, we all need to work. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. I did film this look for an indie palette that is being revealed this weekend. I'm not gonna let you know which one it is, but I definitely have it here with me. Yes, I definitely have it here with me because I clearly have it on my eyes. Wow. Not only grammar left the buildings, common sense left the building as well, but I will be having this look live, I think this weekend or beginning of next week. So keep an eye open for that. Let me scooch it to the side so we can talk about, oh my God. So we can talk about how Charlotte Tilbury upset the entire beauty community. Let's actually roll the TikTok just so you can get caught up. This is not the whole interview, I think. I think this is just snippets, and these are the snippets that upset people.
When you dupe the consumer. That's not the quality and formula that you're going to get these amazing performance that empowers people to look and feel that way. So if you can do it, try, baby, try, darling. It's on. The game is on. But I have not seen it yet.
In a time where people don't have that much money and they think they can get a sort of Charlotte Tilbury-esque look for a fraction of the price, why wouldn't they buy that product?
Because you just said it, an esque look. It's not Charlotte Tilbury, and it's not the product, and it's not performing the way that my products do. I have looked at those tubes and they do not. So by the way, if I could do them for those prices, I would.
And again, this small little snippet did cause a lot of controversy and drama online because people, rightfully so, I always said, I think a dupe is amazing. Something that is similar, giving a similar effect, a similar feeling, what I don't like is when someone copycats the entire, you know, it's almost the same name, it is almost the same packaging, it is almost the same marketing. They even say this is a duplicate of this and that. I know Makeup Eeveelution did this a lot back in the day. Alpha's honestly been doing it a lot lately, and some brands get away with it and some don't. But I do agree that just because something is a dupe, because something is cheaper, does not mean that it's not as good. I mean, we've talked about this a lot on my channel, and I do think that it comes off pretty elitist, honestly, of Charlotte Tilbury to say something like this. So another creator, her name is Nina Gulina, I think. Gulina? I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing this. She put up a reel, or maybe it was a TikTok, I've seen it on Instagram, where she is talking about something that I think it has a lot of true things in here. There are also some things that need to be talked about a little bit more, because I do think that sometimes when people talk about ingredients and when some people talk about manufacturing and stuff like that, they gloss over, and let's just roll her reel as well.
Charlotte Tilbury continues to get on the internet. She has a very arrogant air about her.
When you dupe the consumer.
Certain documents, like bills of landing, are public information in the United States. So through a little bit of digging, I was able to find out who Charlotte Tilbury's manufacturers are for certain products. One of those products being a lip liner pencil, the Lip Cheat. Now, if you didn't know this, a manufacturer called Schwan is one of the leading manufacturers for lip liners. Here is direct proof that Charlotte Tilbury does, in fact, get their lip liner pencils manufactured by Schwan. I'm going to show you 2 different brands lip liners, and I want you to tell me which one is which. Exactly. Oh, but the plot thickens. These lip liners are from Charlotte Tilbury and a brand called Kiko Milano. They are from Italy and they started in 1997. Their lip liner pencils are also manufactured by Schwan, the leading manufacturer of lip liner pencils. These are the Velvet Passion lipsticks by Kiko Milano, and look at the core of this product. These also smell exactly like the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. So now that we have the hardcore evidence stating in paperwork, what do you think is worth more? And why do you think that these brands have slightly different ingredients lists? So what I could gather from all of this information and paperwork is they are tweaking these products just a little bit and then tacking on the extra $30 or $40 and telling you that you are the one being duped if you want to purchase anything that is similar to their product. They are also claiming that they are innovative, that they are behind all of the science, and that's what really bothers me, because there are cosmetic chemists that work for these manufacturers that are bright, talented people, but people like Charlotte Tilbury state that they are in fact the ones that are revolutionary.
So like I said, a lot of the things that she's saying in this reel is completely true. There are a couple of, there are a million makeup brands, but there are not a million makeup factories. I think all of us know this, and a lot of brands that you know and love are made in the same factories. It 95% of the time does not mean that they have the same formula, and I don't like when people talk about, tweaking the ingredients a little bit and therefore it's the same thing, because I equate this to baking. When you bake a sponge cake, it's always going to be the same main ingredients. Sometimes you change some things out, but it will make a totally different sponge cake depending on how you whisk it, how you cook it, what kind of thing you're going to put it into, technique. All of these different things are going to make a different cake, even though you are making it from the same flour, sugar, eggs, and butter. I'm saying that with love. So sometimes 2 ingredient lists can give 2 different products, even if they're from the same factory, because of how it's put together, the technique and everything, and the ratio of things, and also like how it's put. There are different things that goes into makeup production and makeup formulations other than these are the ingredients. And definitely when it comes to brands that I would say that are mid-range and high-end, I would say you can assume that they always have their own formulation of things. They might have made big changes, they might have made small changes, they might have had someone in the lab or someone maybe even at the head office in the US or in Europe, creating the formula and then making the factory, usually in Germany or Italy, or maybe even in Asia, different Asian countries like Korea, China, Thailand. A lot of countries have makeup manufacturing and have them do the formula that has been created. But you can send the same formula to 3 different labs and get 3 different products. Trust me, trust me, this is very, very fascinating. I can tell you that. Again, I do own a small makeup brand. We're not big, but I worked really hard on making my own formulas for the things that I've done. When it comes to lip pencils, and I know a lot of people talk about with high-end products, what you pay for is the packaging. I would say yes and no. I think for bigger brands, usually what you pay for is the amount of colors that they offer. You know, some drugstore brands will offer 2 bronzers, and then a high-end brand will offer 12 bronzers. What you're paying for is that to make 9 different shades, it's much more expensive than to make 2 different shades, because there is a minimal order quantity that you have to reach, and usually it's X amount of products, but you can get it into different colors, but it still has to be a minimum order quantity of each color too. So let's say it's 10,000 and you can split it up, but it still has to be 3,000 of each color, which means that even if you do 10,000, you can't do 10 colors. You can only do 3 colors, and if you want to do a 4th color, well, then you're gonna have to have 12,000 of that product. This also increases the cost, because the more you make of a color, the less it's gonna cost. So there's a lot of things that goes into the cost of the product that a lot of people don't think about. Kiko Milano is a very affordable brand, and I think Kiko Milano also orders in big bulk quantity. I will say, I don't think that with prestige makeup that what you're paying for is the quality always of the product. You are paying for that prestige brand. I will say, when you test your luck with makeup, I usually have better luck with high-end makeup than I do with drugstore makeup. If I try 10 drugstore makeup products and 10 high-end products from brands, I will say the ratio of me liking versus disliking is usually I have a better luck with high-end. And it's probably because the budget of like, you know, developing that product is probably higher. But I do think it is incredibly tone deaf of Charlotte Tilbury to be like, my products can't be duped. And it's like, babe, there are so many products on the markets that are better than her products. That god-awful foundation that she released last year, that's literally one of the worst products I've ever tried in my life. That just floats up on your skin, looking matte, but just never setting down. And as soon as you touch your face, you have it on. You blot your face, the foundation is on the blotting sheet. Like, it's an absolutely awful, awful foundation. That cheek like blush stick that is so sticky that your hair is gonna stick to it. You can not only dupe her products, you can, you know, go beyond her products, get something better than her products. But I also think that she has a lot of great products. But remember, just because something is made in the same factory does not mean that it is the exact same product. With that being said, there is a lot of products on the market that I prefer over Charlotte Tilbury's lip liners. And Kiko Milano, for example, does make a lot of really good products, although I will say Kiko Milano is relaunching in the US, and I've seen a lot of suspicious marketing material for them where I'm wondering if people are not labeling their sponsored content properly, because all of a sudden everybody has great things to say about Kiko Milano and no one's sponsored. It's all very suspicious. I'm not saying anyone is lying, I'm just saying be wary when you hear a lot of creators at the same time talk about something and it's not labeled as sponsored. Just, you know, be a little bit critical. So what are those other 5%? Remember in the beginning when I said I would say probably 95% if something is coming from the same factory, it's not the same formula. There are definitely brands that will use the private labeled formula of, because all labs will have a private labeled formula, something that you can just get easy. You don't have to get as many bigger quantity of it, because the more changes you make to a formula, the minimum order quantity does tend to go up. If you make no changes whatsoever, basically you're just picking colors from a catalog, there are a lot of labs that will let you order in the hundreds. Most labs will not let you order in the hundreds. It's in the thousands for sure. So sometimes people tell me these two formulas are so similar. Are they made in the same lab? And I don't think that that's the question we should be asking ourselves, because there are brands that I know are made in the same labs that I work with that have totally different formulas than me, because of course they don't have my formula, because that's my formula. I worked really hard on that one. But I also do know of formulas board that is very similar to each other, and that's just the name of the game. Some of them are more expensive, some of them are more affordable. It depends on a bunch of different things. If you'd like me to talk more about makeup production, I'm not a pro, but I definitely think at this point that I know more than not only the average consumer, but also I think I know more about makeup production than maybe the average beauty guru or makeup content creator. But let me know if you would like to hear more of this, and let me know what you think about this. Do you get upset when you hear Charlotte Tilbury talk like this? Because to me, it makes me go I wrinkle up my nose, and it just gives off this, you can't sit with us. If you can't afford Charlotte Tilbury, your makeup is just never gonna look great, darling. Can we quickly chat about the new Colourpop collab? So this is the collab between Colourpop and, okay, I've never played Pokémon. This is how you know. This is how you're gonna figure out. I think it's Pokémon Evolution? Eevee. Why is there so many E's in here? Eeveelution. I don't think I'm saying this correctly. I've never sounded more like a boomer in my life. Anyways, this is the second round with Colourpop and Pokémon, and I think the first one was that rainbow palette that they did that I honestly thought was pretty cute. I kind of like that palette. So this one is a smaller palette, and it is a couple of multi-chrome sticks inspired by Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. Again, I have no idea. BFF liquid liners inspired by Leafeon and Glaceon. Oh, I love their colored liquid liners. I'm so excited about those. Love their colored liquid liners. Fresh Kiss lip balms inspired by, again, Eevee. There's a lot of E's going on here. Espeon and Umbreon. And then a glitterly obsessed glitter gel inspired by Sylveon. I have no idea about any of these. But overall, I think this looks pretty cute. I don't mind how this looks at all. Again, I don't know. Clearly, babe, they know. They heard you. I don't know anything about Colourpop whatsoever. But if you are interested in anything Colourpop at any time, you can always use my code Angeshka over at Colourpop and get some money off. I did get shipping confirmation actually on this collection, and I do have quite a few. I'm actually wearing this Colourpop. Did you see my lip swatches of these Colourpop new lippies? I'm wearing the, I think this is my favorite actually. This one, and was it Melrose Road? I don't know. This one, Lavender Lemonade. That's what I'm wearing on my lips today. I do kind of enjoy them. They're really nice. Maybe I should actually even put on some more. They're very soft, a little goopy, but they're comfortable. I do enjoy them. But would you like me to do a keeping up with Colourpop? Because I do have quite a few things here, and I can maybe give you like a roundup review of the last, I don't know, 6 collections or something, because I've definitely been falling behind. It's kind of easy to fall behind with Colourpop. I was so surprised when I saw this new mini bloom by Natasha Denona, because this looks so much like some of her other mini palettes. I mean, I bet these sell, otherwise she wouldn't release such a similar mini palette again. But I don't even think this represents the Bloom palette. This is just a shrug for me. It's like, okay. It's a color story that Pat McGrath would release. I guess this sells. I'm not interested. I mean, if Natasha Denona finds her inspiration, clearly she lost it somewhere, Lord knows where. But if she finds it again, I'll try something. But this, no, I'm good. And then we have the Hourglass new holiday palettes coming. These have the exact same mold as they have had for their holiday palettes since before I think I started my beauty YouTube, and I'm currently heading towards year 11 now. I'm on year 11. I'm about to start year 12. These were leaked. They are always leaked. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I don't even care. I am not the person who's super excited about Hourglass. I don't think that they make bad products. Every time I try something from Hourglass, I'm like, yeah, this is nice, but I'm never blown away. And even by these face powders, I'm always like, yeah, I guess they're good. I just think they're a little bit too sheer for me. And these also have some small pans where I'm like, are these eyeshadows? Are these meant to be like contours? It looks like does not look like it's 5 face powders and then 2 eyeshadows. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But clearly, again, I'm gonna say the same as I said with the Natasha Denona. Clearly this is selling. Otherwise, they would not keep releasing it. So I bet there are people out there, probably some of you watching right now, that are like, oh, I'm so excited for the yearly collectible from Hourglass. This is just not one of these things that ever got me. I do miss the times. I miss the years where holiday releases were so exciting. Like, they were so fun. I mean, there were so many palettes that you wanted to pick up, and this is just not the case anymore. I mean, maybe it will be the revival of eyeshadow palettes, because I'm seeing some more mainstream brands like release and announce them too. I wouldn't be sad, but yeah, this is just not something for me. I'm assuming these are releasing end of August maybe, because that's usually when holiday comes into. I know. Listen, don't question consumerism. It is what it is. Let's talk about a couple of indie palettes that are either been released, announced, revealed. Some of them are already available. One of them that are already available is the Opal Abyss by Unearthly Cosmetics. This is a full collection with like highlighter, lipsticks. I think it's those sparkly like metallic lipsticks that she has. And yeah, the menacing metal lipsticks. And there is a Dew Light Face and Body Glow. And then there is the Opal Abyss palette. I have no idea if I'm getting this in PR or not, but I do think that this looks incredibly cool. I think that this palette together almost is giving like a rainbow palette. I really enjoy the different takes on, like, some of the colors are bright, some of them seem a little bit more moody. So I really think that this is one of those palettes that I know if I saw it in real life, I bet I would think it is so pretty. I have seen some people put up some reviews on it. I don't have it myself. I never watch reviews of palettes that I don't have that I am wanting to try. That's why I didn't watch them yet, but there are definitely people who have gotten this in PR for sure. Another palette that I know is heading my way, again, this one I got shipping confirmation on, and this is the Just Art by DeDe Signature. This is a beautiful rainbow palette with a twist. DeDe Signature does really interesting undertones in her palettes. I always really like the colors that she chooses together, and I love her formula, and I cannot wait to try this one. I do know that this one is heading my way. You can use my discount code Angeshka with DeDe Signature and get some money off. We also now have been able to see the re-release of Sandra Rose by Glaminatrix Cosmetics. Such a pretty palette, and I'm very excited that it's coming back. So this is a new packaging, and I think that this one, when is this one released? Oh, it says it's available tomorrow. So when you're seeing this, it's already available. Again, you can use my discount code Angeshka with Glaminatrix and get some money off. We have also seen a sneak peek. Where do I have you? This is the front. I have it here. The front of the Bella Beauté bar on Cloud 9. And as I'm filming this palette, she hasn't revealed the inside yet, but this one is, I'm pretty sure, releasing next week. You can use my discount code Angeshka with this palette, and there will be a video on this palette. And I know this because I've already filmed it. We've also seen some sneak peeks from Arttitude Cosmetics, and I see it over here. I already got the package. Stunning, absolutely beautiful. I think this one is revealing next week, and like I said, I already have it here with me, so I will definitely be doing something on it. Do you want to see like dedicated looks? I was thinking about doing one of those, like one palette, 2 looks. Do you want to see something like that? Because yeah, I will definitely have something, because it is such a beauty. I mean, you can see with the makeup look here, you can see that there's like some fun things coming. So I'm excited to see this one, and you can use my code Angeshka with them as well. Then we've been able to see, slowly but surely, we've been able to see the past year, maybe year and a half, with Blend Bunny Cosmetics, they are re-releasing and updating some of their older favorites. We're still waiting for Surge to come back, and I know she said that it will be hard because neons are hard to make, but she has re-released Sickly Sweet, and now she is releasing Singles, which is the updated shimmer formula. And basically, this is you being able to get the shimmers for the Sickly Sweet palette. I think, yes, $16. You can use the discount code, mine is Angeshka, and you can pop in for the Sickly Sweet and get the updated shimmer formula. I kind of want to update my entire... I know I shouldn't, because again, this isn't my full-time job, but I am like intrigued to update my Blend Bunny for this new, because I think their new shimmer formula is so beautiful. They're also re-releasing the Dollhouse palette, and this one, I think it made a couple of changes, and it also has the updated shimmer formula. When is this one? This one is available now for $48 US, and you can use a code with it. I hope we get All Done Up. Are you hearing that, Maggie? We need All Done Up. That is it used to be my favorite palette from the brand. Now I think it's the psilocybin that is my favorite. If you didn't watch my palette ranking, it was like a really long video. I think it was like 40, 50 an hour. I don't know. It's a long video where I was ranking all the palettes that I've tried this year so far. And let me tell you, the psilocybin, it was up there. Let's talk about a few mainstream releases before we get into some fragrances. And then I want to talk about a few makeup news at the end as well. And the mainstream releases that I want to mention, like I said, I feel like the beauty community is primed to get an eyeshadow palette revival. And this one is from LYS Beauty. And this is the Self-Love edition, limited 11-piece eyeshadow palette. They're always doing the triangular packaging, you know, pulling a Prada, love it. So I do think that this palette, they're doing it in a way where it, like, at least it's not taking up a lot of extra space. I think the color story is pretty cute. It's like neutral, but there's a little pop of something. I think this is a color story that could do really well mainstream. We've also been able to see, and this is from H&M Beauty. I don't talk about H&M Beauty that much, but if you didn't know, if you've been here for those 11 years that I talked about, you know that I actually started reviewing H&M Beauty on my channel. That's how I started my beauty channel. And this is a new, I've seen this online, new quads from H&M Beauty. And doesn't this look so promising? It looks absolutely gorgeous. The packaging is stunning. And I have seen these at least at H&M Italy, and I don't know if they're coming to the US or not, but I will try and find them and leave them down below because I think this looks very, very promising. Another mainstream release that we have seen is from Nars. So Nars is both releasing some quads in 3 new shades, and they're also releasing some liquid eyeshadows in 5 different shades. Very Nars shades, muted, neutral. I'm sure the quality is going to be beautiful. I think Nars makes like really, really high quality stuff. They're all honestly like really on it, but this is not going to be something for me. This is not something that I want to pick up. We've also seen from Nars a sneak peek at their holiday 2026. Are you prepared for holiday? Because it's time. It is that time of the year where we are going to be talking about holiday releases. I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm literally sitting here sweating because it's so warm, but trust me, it's coming. So this is gonna be for Christmas 2026. This has a similar color story like the one they had last year. There was the collection, there was a collaboration with Iris Van Herpen. I still have that face palette. It is so beautiful. Very intrigued by that palette that has a blue. What are you? What are you with that blue big pan? Is that a highlighter? Because that would be really fun. So do you think that this looks more promising than Nars Holiday usually does? I'm not hating it, gotta tell you. Something else that got me very intrigued are these new Art Player Lip Balm from Makeup Forever. This new packaging from them, 12 out of 10. Absolutely love how this looks. Comes in 10 shades and it seems like it's not a click stick. Because this one, the one that I just showed you from Colourpop, it's one of those click sticks. I don't know if you even heard that. Did you hear that? Did anyone hear anything? And it feels like this one is a twist up. I am very intrigued by this. Definitely want to try one. I don't know which one, but I definitely will be trying one of these. We've also seen some new minis from Rare Beauty. These are the blushes, liquid blushes in minis. I think these look really pretty. That like top corner, very poppy, like papaya, kind of tropical. That looks really gorgeous. I wouldn't mind having that one. Oh, and Nabla has released some new lip oils. I have these. Should we smell them? These have what I can only describe as Nabla entering my dreams while I sleep and create the 4 most perfect smells for me. And if you've been here before, you know I love the Nabla lip oil formula. It's a beautiful lip oil formula. And I've also said that Nabla makes the best scents for lip products in the game. And for them to release, let me go get them. Mind blown. So they came like this in a little like teddy pouch, perfect for the pool. Comes with a promo card, stickers. Is that a hedgehog? Oh. Wait, I have to put that on something. Okay, those are actually very cute stickers. I like that. And then there is a lip oil holder. I don't foresee myself using that one, but okay. But then there are the lip oils. The lip oils are the lip candy oils. They come in little packaging like this. It's a paper packaging, and the smells are icy mint, fig, banana, and green apple. Are you kidding me? Let's start with the mint. I love a minty lip product. These are frosted. The ones that they released before are not frosted, but these are. Ooh. You know, that's almost giving... It's not just mint. It's giving that gum, Stimorol. Is it called that? In Sweden, it's called Stimorol. Is it called that? It's almost giving like there's something slightly more than mint. It's not just mint, there's something else as well. This one is the banana. So the banana one has shimmer in it, and it's like a milky yellow with shimmer. Oh gosh, this smells like banana marshmallows. I said that once and somebody was like, that's not a thing. Oh, okay, yes, it very much is. In Sweden, we have banana marshmallows and it smells like this. Smells really good. Remember that just because you don't have that candy in your country does not mean that another country does not have that candy. Friendly reminder. But in Sweden we have banana marshmallows and it just smells like banana candy basically. This one is the fig one. Ooh, love this packaging. Ooh, it's a very fruity fig. I want this as a body spray. Nabla, this needs to be a body spray. Wow. Wow. Do you think this works as a perfume? I'm like, oh gosh, this smells so good. Okay, this one, I'm not even putting this one back. This is going straight into the purse, please and thank you. And then we have green apple, and I love the scent of green apple. I was looking for some kind of like an apple shower gel because I need to buy a new shower gel. I couldn't find anything. I wouldn't mind that. Okay, this is green apple, but again, it's leaning more green apple candy. It's more sweet, which I honestly don't mind. I prefer when it's a little bit more zesty, you know, like a Granny Smith, but still it does smell like apple candy. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm very, very obsessed with these lip oils, and this one, oh, that's lovely. So yeah, those are available now. In case you're interested, we will link them down below. Another mainstream release is the new foundation from Vanngo. Vanngo is not sold in Europe. Maybe they ship here, I'm not 100% sure. So this is the Red Carpet Skin Luminous Longwear Serum Foundation. I do love when a foundation says serum foundation, because usually that means it's very liquidy, and I love liquidy foundation. I just think it sits so much better on skin that is a little bit more mature. I am 42. So I don't want something that feels and looks heavy on my skin. And I'm actually not wearing a liquid foundation today. I'm actually wearing my oldie but goodie, this is the Fenty foundation stick. That's what's on my face, and I love this one for summer. So I thought I'd bring it out and, you know, wear it again. So this foundation is available now. It's 46 shades, $46, 38 shades. It comes with an evolving face brush for complexion. I think this is dual-ended, and it is available now on the Sephora website. I'll link it down below in case you're interested. I haven't seen any reviews on it yet, but maybe it's great. This is a really fun phenomenon, and I wanted to talk about this from a European perspective. So this is the MAC Cosmetics a Nordstrom anniversary exclusive sale. Before I moved to the US, I lived in the US for 4.5 years, and before I moved there, I didn't really understand this whole like Nordstrom anniversary and Amazon Prime Day. I think that Black Friday now has become more of something we, I don't want to say celebrate, but something that we do all around the world. But I come from Sweden, and in Sweden we have a lot of days where we celebrate different foods and pastries. We have waffle day where you're supposed to eat waffles. We have cinnamon bun day. We have like different kind of pastries, like chocolate cake day, where you're supposed to like have that piece of pastry or like food to celebrate the day. Everyone who comes to Sweden is like, it's weird but endearing. I think that's a great way of describing it. The US has days around shopping and consumerism. Nordstrom anniversary is a big deal, and this is the reason why you're seeing so many videos on this. And I know that people are probably making a lot of money on these videos because people love shopping the Nordstrom anniversary sale. Amazon Prime Day is like literally a holiday in the US, and I find it maybe equally weird but less endearing that the US has days around consumerism instead of, well, pastries. But with this being said, this is why I wanted to explain why sometimes you see things that are like exclusive for like Nordstrom anniversary sale or Amazon Prime Day. It's because it's such a big deal. People really do like plan around these events, make baskets, and like, you know, people travel to go to a Nordstrom and shop the anniversary sale. I know it's, I don't get it, but there's a lot of things with Swedish culture that I know people think is so weird, where I'm like, what do you mean? That's normal, because, but from an outsider perspective, I mean, I guess it's not. With that being said, what do you have in your country that you celebrate that from an outside perspective might seem a little weird? This one I actually tried. Wait, I have this one. This is from Huda Beauty. I filmed a little reel. Hopefully that reel is already live as you're seeing this. This is new from Huda Beauty. It's a liquid mass, I can't speak, send help. Liquid matte mousse soft blur lip cream. This comes in 8 different colors. It's all like a version of a nude, most of them a little pinky. And this is a very lightweight, moussey liquid lipstick that feels lightweight on the lips. You can smush your lips together. It does not crack. It does not dry down. So it is not transfer proof. It is sheer but buildable. I prefer liquid lipsticks in this formula that had a little bit more color, but it is a beautiful formula. I gotta tell you, stunning formula. I wore it all day yesterday, absolutely beautiful. So I did purchase this one myself at Sephora here, and it says $25. I don't know what I paid in euros, if I'm gonna be honest, but this is available now. And I will say, if you are looking for matte lipstick, I mean, these are not bad. The colors though, they're a little boring. Okay, I want to talk about fragrances, and I want to start to talk about Sol de Janeiro is branching into sprays for men. So this is going to be their like hair and body mist. So this is not a cologne or fragrance. They call this a cologne mist. So just see this as still being a body mist, but for men. I don't know why they're calling it a cologne mist. I think men sometimes get confused because they're not so well versed in the beauty aisles. So when it's not called, if it's called a body mist for men, it's not going to sell as well as a cologne mist. So I don't honestly understand the branding. But this is going to be their first ever scent for guys, inspired by the Peleda, Brazil's free-flowing pickup soccer game. I think that's honestly a great inspiration. Each is boosted with freshness tech to keep odor in check. I have no idea what that is about, but I think it's great that they're like adding that as well. It makes it a little bit more of a sporty element that again probably will just speak to guys shopping something like this. It comes in 2 different flavors. No, don't eat this. 2 different scents. Cherryosa 10. These are going to be $26 each, and it is an aromatic gourmand inspired by the 10 jersey worn by the visionary playmaker who defines the game. Cardamom, I love cardamom, Brazilian pineapple, and smooth cedarwood. I think this sounds amazing. Then it is the Cherryoso 7 cologne mist, and this is amber aromatic. This is the inspired by the 7 jersey worn by the star who lights it up with speed and flair. This one has wild lavender, salted macadamia nut, and vanilla woods. It is called amber, so I'm assuming it's going to be amber too. Amber is one of those notes that when it's a little, it's sexy. When it's too much, it's a no, I can't do it. So it kind of depends on how much of that's going to be there. I do love a masculine coated scent that has lavender or lilacs in it. Usually is beautiful. So I am not as intrigued by that one as the other one, but I think I'm going to pick both of these up, and I'm going to see if these can be worn as a unisex scent or if my husband would enjoy it. With that being said, I don't think my husband wants a body spray. So I think this will be a hard market to break into, but I applaud them for trying something new because I really think that this could be really interesting because again, my husband, he doesn't care about any kind of beauty. He doesn't do any kind of skincare. He wears SPF and fragrance. And if they can break into fragrances for men, I do think it's one of the few beauty products that men actually are intrigued by. Another scent that is coming is from Kayali, and this is the Boujee Kitty. This was actually an April Fool's joke that apparently came into fruition because people really wanted this because of the notes that they were saying that this was going to be. Again, this is called Boujee Kitty. Listen, I don't know, but this is going to be a gourmand with amber, which again, might not be for me, but I think Kayali always makes really good blends. So this is going to be caramel milk and white chocolate, salted caramel, vanilla caviar, soft musk, and caramel santal. And this is all the notes that I usually don't love. There's only one caramel fragrance that I like, and it is actually the one from LYS Brooklyn, the something caramel bee. I don't even remember. The one that has the caramel, the burnt caramel, that one is really nice. But it's the only one that I actually really like. So I don't know if I will enjoy this. I do tend to get a lot of PR from Kayali. I don't know if I'm going to receive this or not. If I do, I would let you know whether or not I think they were able to do a good blend with this. But I don't think this is something that I'm going to like pick up myself because I have a sneaking suspicion that this one won't be for me. One that I really do want to pick up though, and this is from Way, and they're gonna come out with a new Laurel Canyon fragrance, and it says no release date yet, but it's apparently was announced at Ulta Beauty World, and now it was like a sneak peek or I don't know if it was like it said it was announced. And now we have more info. Oh, okay. But this is gonna be fig leaf, green mandarin, and almond milk. I want this so bad because I love figs, as you can see, I love figs, and it also has violet petals. And again, I love violet in fragrances. I also love the flavor of violets, absolutely love violet like anything. So I'm really, did you know violet candy is like, it's like an old-timer candy that's still around because it is actually kind of tasty. I love violet candy. So I think that this one, if I see it, I will definitely purchase it. I really hope it gets here. Another one that I saw this and I was like, this is a new favorite brand of mine. I just recently realized that this brand has some really interesting fragrances that fit me. This is Juliet Has a Gun Purple Trouble. This one has wild blackberry, and I love blackberry fragrances. I'm still upset that Boy Smells didn't bring back Bramble, because that was blackberry and basil. So good. This is blackberry, red chili peppers, ambroxan, and musks. I hope this will be interesting, but again, so far, Juliet Has a Gun I have a couple of fragrances from them. I think I had 3, but I gave one away because it was the vanilla one and it was just too plain vanilla for me. But I overall think that they make really good fragrances, and I still want to get the one that I haven't seen yet. I should really see if that one has been released. They had a one before that, if that has been released in Europe yet. You can buy Juliet Has a Gun both at, I think both Niche and Cult Beauty has them, so check them out. That's where I'm gonna purchase mine. And then last one that I want to talk about is actually from Jo Malone, and one of my absolute favorite fragrances in my collection, that is a fragrance that I have recommended for the person who wants a new everyday fragrance that works in the office space, but it's not a soap or a flowery fragrance. I've always said sea salt, sage and sea salt, wood sage and sea salt. I don't even remember which one, but this seems to be a spin on that one, because this is sea salt and bergamot, and I love bergamot. Bergamot is like a bitter citrus fruit. It says it looks almost like, if you tell AI, could you make something that looks like a mix between a lime, a lemon, and an orange, you get what bergamot looks like basically. I love the flavor of it, I love the scent of it, and I feel sea salt and bergamot could be amazing. So I'm still looking for, I saw it in store when I was in Termini in Roma, and I wasn't able to smell it. But next time I go, I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna sniff it, the Beat fragrance. And I'm gonna see if they have this one too, the sea salt and bergamot. Do we have Jo Malone here in Torino? I should look into that. Very intrigued by this one. It says bergamot, sea salt, driftwood, and mineral. And that usually gives you a little bit of a rain scent. You know, the mineral, very, very intrigued by this one. Clean, airy scent with a crisp coastal edge will be your favorite signature scent that lasts from day to night. It captures the invigorating feeling of driving into open water. Who doesn't want that? So yeah, I'm very intrigued by that one. I will say, I think Jo Malone has, again, also very interesting profiles, but the past like 2 years, they have released a lot of super gourmand or super floral fragrances. The two legs of the scent, like the 2 scent profiles that I'm usually not that intrigued by. So I'm so excited to see them release 2 collections back to back. There's something totally different. So I'm popping back to the side because I realized I wasn't done. There were 2 things that I wanted to talk about and I totally forgot. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is actually the fact that Coty and Kering has now agreed on an early transfer of Gucci. Gucci was at Coty, Gucci Beauty was at Coty. So everything you're seeing from Gucci Beauty right now is with Coty. And Kering, who owns Gucci, the brand Gucci, has said that they no longer want the contract to be with Coty, they want the contract to be with L'Oreal. This stirred up quite a lot of feelings last year when it was announced, because I think for Coty, Gucci Beauty was probably a brand that made them a lot of money. So they had a contract for a longer period, but now they have paid $400 million for the early termination of the beauty license agreement, which was set to expire in 2028, but instead now will expire mid next year. So come June 30th, 2027, I don't know if that sparks, I don't know what that means. Are they gonna just scrap the entire range and release new products? Because I love the Gucci Beauty, like the lip products are so good. Are they just going to slowly come up with new things? Will they own the stock that is left? Is it going to be disappearing? Is it going to be a new gondola? Very excited, because a year in beauty, like in beauty production terms, is not a lot of time. It is not as much time as you might think it is. So for me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, that is quick. I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, I can't believe that the new Marc Jacobs Beauty took this long. I was not surprised at all. It takes a really long time to launch a brand, especially with that many SKUs. So this is surprise to me. Next one is, this is an article from Business of Beauty, and it says, can Refi conquer Europe? So Refi is actually a UK brand, but it has been at Sephora US for a really long time. So this is a Manchester-based brand, which I think is very interesting because UK beauty is not known for being like clean girl beauty, but that is definitely what Refi is. But apparently they are now entering 57 Sephoras around Europe this month. I have no idea if it's going to be, which Sephora it's going to be. I would assume, this is me guessing, I would assume it's going to be Italy, France, Sweden, maybe Denmark. What do you think? These are like some of the markets where I know, and maybe Sephora UK. Let me know what you think about this, and did you know that it was a UK-based brand that was not even available in stores in Europe? And this article talks about that it was launched, I think during COVID, and it therefore started as an online brand and then hit it big and launched at Sephora US. But it's now time to, you know, conquer your home like space, and I'm interested to see how people are going to react to Refi. A lot of brands that haven't been available in Europe have launched in Europe as of late. We've seen Fleur just launched last month in Europe. I've seen it in a bunch of different Sephoras. Also, One Size has been available. I'm still waiting for the Nessa Myricks. Please and thank you. I would love to see the Nessa Myricks in Sephora's here. But now we are getting Refi, and I gotta say, I wonder where, because Sephora's here, at least the ones that I've seen in Italy so far, and I'm speaking for like the cities that I've been to, Roma, Torino, Firenze, Venezia, they're not, Bologna, they're not huge. Was there a Sephora in Bologna? I'm not even sure. Am I like, I'm just saying they're not as huge as some Sephoras in the US are. So I'm wondering like which ones are gonna, in France, you have huge Sephoras. I mean, Sephora is French, of course. So they're huge, but yeah, I wonder. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know about that, because if I get news like that, I do want to talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna go back, and this is gonna be a weird cut. Bear with me. Let me know, what are you intrigued by in this episode? There's something where you're like, I definitely want to pick that one up. If you were like, what did she say? Where could I find it? What was the code again? What was that website she was talking about? All the info that we have, we will put in the description box down below, so don't forget to check there if you were looking for some more info. I also have some things popping up in YouTube Shopping if they are available. And if you do shop through my links or use my affiliate codes, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really does help out. And thank you for being here, for watching until the end. It really means a lot to me. It's been a rough July. And hopefully I'll feel brave enough to talk about it in a bit. But I hope you're having a great weekend, and I will see you soon for a Bella Beauté bar video.